Okay, this is McQueen Battle First Aid Responder Services today. And can I have your first name?
When?
Lenny. And I have Lenny here today talking about his impact on how COVID has impacted him. So, have you been vaccinated?
Yeah, mostly.
Okay.
Yeah. Both, Pfizer.
And he had the Pfizer vaccine. And why did you make the choice to get vaccinated here today?
Because if you don't have that, it's going to spread to everybody, and you'll never have any more anything to do like we had last year. Nothing moved and nothing was accomplished.
So you said,
And of course, and I believe in my heart, Trump was booted out of office because of COVID. Yeah.
so Trump was booted out of office because of COVID. So the last administration went through a lot of issues.
Yeah.
Trump was a big factor in it, as well as his ignorance, a little bit of his
His
inability.
But in my opinion, he was a good president.
He was a good opinion, but he did have a lot of problems with the public.
Yeah, well, because of that, racial tension, and I'll tell you, it was one person, in this country, it's not just Black Lives Matter. If you're born in this country, it's all white, black, Spanish, pledge allegiance, your parents pledge allegiance to the country. She was born here, you were probably born here, all lives.
All lives matter. Good. I'm glad you brought that up because the race riots, as well as George Floyd, Breonna Taylor.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If that didn't take place, Kamala Harris would have never been the vice president.
And why do you think that?
Because they would have, Biden, at one time, he was anti-black. When he first came as senator, he was against Hispanic, black, Jewish people. And Kennedy lived good with Biden in the Senate. When Obama was nominated for president, and because he became president, Kennedy told Obama to take Joe Biden as Joe Biden as the vice president.
Do you think that the current administration, Joe Biden's administration, is doing a good job in response to the COVID? And why do you think that the current administration is not doing a good job with that?
Because he's not a go-getter. If you ever look at him, a lot of times when he talks to the American people, he looks like he's going to fall. He looks like he's going to fall down.
Okay. So you don't currently agree with the current administration's office?
No.
What do you think that they could do better?
The only thing I agree with Joe Biden is one thing. He's looking to find, there's two things. He's looking to find out how did COVID become.
Okay.
And secondly, he's a Catholic like I am.
Yes.
But the rest of the issues, and then
I'm glad you brought up that issue too on religion, because Pope Francis.
I don't go up for him either. But as a Catholic, I don't want nothing to happen.
But the Pope did support the vaccination for the church, for the Catholic Church.
To me, as a Catholic, he's a socialist. He believes in socialist matters, and he does care for the worst people in society that will take from us, not give us anything, never go to work. And he's for these people that will rob you, kill you as a woman, rape you. He's for these type of people. I don't like him. I don't like Connell O'Malley. I don't like him. But he's a socialist. He don't believe in what I think as a Catholic. No. But as I said, they run the outside. He runs the Catholic faith, Pope Francis. I don't want nothing to happen. But if he came here to the Common and spoke on something, I wouldn't come and see him.
Okay.
The best Holy Father that I came to see was Pope John Paul came.
Pope John Paul. So you're practicing Catholic.
Yeah.
How has the vaccine had a major impact on you as a practicing Catholic?
Well, without the vaccine, nothing would be possible now. The variants are in the air; they're still here. And now if you look out in Asia and up in that area, where the Olympics are going to be in another month. If I had a son or daughter who's competitive and made the American Olympic team, There's no way in hell I'd send them over there now. No way. And next year, where the Winter Olympics are, there's only 5 miles from where the laboratory and where COVID came from. It's near Beijing. It's on the other side of Beijing. It's 5 to 6 miles inland from where the Winter Olympics are next year.
Okay. Now that we're going into, you're talking about sports as well as the economy. The economy hasn't been doing too good.
No.
Have you personally known anybody that has died because of the COVID-19 virus?
I think I personally believe there's some people. My former girlfriend, I don't know, she had lymphedema and certain heart failure in the later years.
And she has passed.
She's gone.
I do apologize about
3 days
that.
before Christmas.
I do apologize about that.
And what happened is she couldn't go back to the hospital, which is Mount Auburn in Kansas. She couldn't get a therapist. She couldn't even see her own personal doctor unless she had the symptoms of COVID. And I believe that had something to do with it. She was a kind of a thing. She had it in 2018. They stopped it. She was able to be survived. She did pretty good for about a year. Close to Thanksgiving last year, it was going downhill. It expands your body. It's fluid. And lymphedema moves up from your legs to your body, to your kidneys. It can pass past your heart. But if it hits your head and you get an aneurysm, you die.
So I do apologize.
She was 73 years old.
She was 73 years old. Are you still breathing?
What?
Are you still breathing from that?
Well, you never, the time was on. But I mean, you still have, things that are not like they were before. I mean, I'm not lonely, but today it's not good to be alone and so forth. I got friends, don't get me wrong, but it's not like having companionship.
So, thank you so much for your time today. And I just want to make one final question before I let him go. Thank you so much. How has the pandemic, you've been under quarantine? Have you been under quarantine the last year?
Yeah, you couldn't go nowhere. I mean, I was able to go out. You had a mask, you had your gloves, but they have no activities. Boston, D.C. is not having anything for the 4th of July. 4th of July is a month from tomorrow. There's no celebration. There's no parade. There's no fireworks, and they ain't gonna have no extra large concert without fireworks. They ain't gonna have it until next year.
So how has being under quarantine as well as everything else, the economy, people being evicted from their houses, the rent moratorium, how has that had a major impact on you during this pandemic?
Well, I mean, I did the best I can, and so forth. You needed help, you got food. You needed certain else things, you could get things. And then if you needed the vaccine when it was approved in January, February, I took it. There's a talk that you might have to get a booster shot before Christmas. Everybody who to help. Again, I'm moving because they believe that a vaccination lasts 6 to 7 months. And it can wear off with different variants that are already here. What are you going to do?
Exactly, what are you going to do? So, the vaccine might change, the economy might change, politics might change. A lot of people's lives are going through transitions right now. Everybody's going through transition because of the quarantine, because of the economy, because of religion, because of the culture, because of the green aspect of music. How has your life changed since the end of this pandemic? How has your life changed since the end of this pandemic?
Well, if you can't do certain things, you can't go anywhere, you have to work the other opposite of what your life is. You can't look at 4 walls, you can't stay in the house all the time. You just have to try to work with it and until this passes and so forth. it is getting slightly better, but we're still a hell of a lot away from what it should be. And plus, it doesn't help with racial trouble, and this is happening, and you know, and I said to you, in a nice way, all lives matter.
All lives matter.
I don't want to see just sign Black Lives Matter. You talk to an African American and you're that kind of, I think you're an intelligent woman. You're born here, you work here, you strive here, you don't bother people, you don't hurt people. You want to work, you want to bring up a family, you want to. And with those police that did that to George Floyd and Benita Taylor, I don't think he was a good man. But when you go to the police academy and you become a police officer, you're trained to apprehend, how to get people, how to handcuff people, how to give the rights, that you have the rights in the court system, you know. He wanted to be macho, like he was in the military, and he got what he deserved. Same as those police. You know, he was handcuffed. He had 4 other officers, including Shaver. Somebody could have called the police wagon, and then would have picked him up slowly. Slowly they would have brought him into the wagon. They would have taken him away, and we wouldn't have this problem. Just that he wanted to think like he was in a combat role, you know.
And who is this here you're talking about?
Shaven and the other 4 officers that were...
Derek Chauvin. Yes.
Yeah, I'm talking about...
So Black Lives Matter as well as George Floyd and the police officer Derek Chauvin.
Nobody, whoever they are,
was a major issue for you.
Nobody, woman, man, color, it doesn't matter in this situation. You don't do that. You're an officer. You're trained and to do certain things. Try to do it the right way. If he reserves rest, you do the little force, but you don't bring him down. You call for backup. You handcuff him. The other officer calls the station. They bring the police wagon in there, and the other officers along with the sergeant. Well, Shaven at that point, just put him in a wagon and you never would have this.
Yes, well, the issue should not have happened in your opinion.
No.
So he's pretty much saying that the issue with George Floyd should not have happened.
He was not a good person.
Derek Chauvin.
But nobody deserved what he got.
Exactly. He's saying that George
That's
Floyd
it.
didn't
Nobody.
deserve it.
White, black, woman. I don't care who he is. You're a person. You don't deserve that. But if you use tactic, he could use more tactic. But he didn't have to just knock it down and put his foot and couldn't breathe. Oh, don't do that. He was a trained officer. I mean, we're logic different. This is not combat. This is not Vietnam. This is not, you know. Just that he wanted to make publicity. And who knows what the really shit. It'll eventually come up. Who knows? He might have dated his sister at one time. He did security, George Floyd, at one time. Some nightclub or some hotel. Maybe there was a slight confrontation, and he was maybe dating her, you know. And, you know, one thing leads to the other, and it's the other. But he was not a good person. And the police officer...
Derek Chauvin. So thank you again for supporting the movement, the political movement. We've had a good talk today. We had to talk about the Black Lives Matter as well as Derek Chauvin, the police officer. Currently, he is a supporter of the last administration in office, which is at Para for Impact, and he has been under quarantine and is a practicing.
The situation with that fella went to the Celtics game the other day, and to the bar at Irving. You don't do that. You don't do that. Because you play for another team now, you're trying to have your revenge on that. The Celtics were lucky to get into the first round. And the better team won.
Okay.
That's what I mean. That's how I think. That's how I believe. That's the way things are.
Mhm.
And you know, I could never vote for Trump. I could never vote for Kamala Harris because I know certain things from people that know her in California. She was no good. She was like a, believe it or not, like a prostitute.
Well, politics also had a lot of play in the end of the pandemic.
And because of that incident, she's a very lucky woman. I'm not saying she's stupid. She's probably an educated woman, but she did certain blunders that I could not, if I lived in California, vote for Senate or for Attorney General over there.
Okay.
And I don't know. I don't know how she lives. Her husband. I don't know what she thinks of her. He's a very smart man. For pictures and production for movies. I don't know how she met him and so forth. He's of the Jewish faith, but I don't care. I got a lot of Jewish friends in my friends. But as of what I think, it was, that was muffled by the Minnesota or Minneapolis police on that issue.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate you. And thank you so much for sitting down and having a conversation with me. Thank you so much. Thank you.